Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our presentation. We are the C# full stack developer class. We are 8 persons, and today we're going to share with you our presentation that we have done in 4 days. So consider that we only have this time to make a full stack application from scratch. And today we're going to see a variety of different solutions, and the solution represents each individual and I'm so excited to see everyone's project, and I hope you are too. We're going to have 3 minutes to present, and then we're going to have some time to ask questions. And first up, I want to welcome Josephine.
Okay. So you all probably been applying for jobs and thinking it's a really struggle to keep everything in track and knowing all the details, and yeah, that's what this application do for you. It keeps tracks of everything that has to do with your application process. So yeah, this is the landing page, and you have 2 buttons here. So you have Add Job, which is a form that we will get back to later. And then we have this Guide Me page, which is under construction, so it's nothing there, but yeah, you can get there, but it's nothing to show. And then we have this Applications page, which holds all the information of every application that I already done through the form, and that is for the logged-in user via my Google account. And all these applications you can filter, so on the different status that you see there. So you have, you can choose interview, then it will be only filtered on interview booked, waiting for answer, and draft, which means jobs that I want to apply for later. And then you have all. And then you can see the notifications here, which is a button, which means basically if you see that button, it means, hey, look at this is important when you get on the website. We want to tell you something. So this is urgently. So it says that if you press on the button here, then it will come up a notification saying that deadline is in 1 day. And waiting for answer will also have a notification that means that nothing has been moving in the process. So it means if you haven't had a reply for 2 weeks, you need to follow up on that. So you will have another message. And same for interview booked, you will also have a message saying that you need to prepare for the interview. And then you can change the different status. So for example, on this draft here, you can change it so the deadline is sooner. Then if you filter, then that one will also have a notification saying that you need to follow up on that. And then also you have this, I'll go back to all. You also have this info button. It's a bit slow, so on the computer, yeah, so that info logo there. That one I added because it got so cluttered, you couldn't really see what was on the website. So if you press on the notification, then you will see all the details about that specific job. So the things you see on the page from the beginning, that is just the fields that I thought was the most necessary to see from the beginning. And then you have the form that I was talking about earlier. And you can add here, I'm not going to do that because it will take a while, but it will be, you can add different specific fields, and if you choose interview booked, you will also get a little bar there saying the time for the interview date. And you can also delete, so then that field is deleted. And when I was working with this, the backend went really smooth, like doing all the endpoints, because we've been doing it a lot, so that went well. When I got stuck, that was when I started to integrate with React to make that work in a smooth way. And then I was stuck for a little bit, but I didn't let myself to stay stuck for too long. So I spoke to Victor, for example. He helped me and guided me in the right direction. So just to talk to him and get some feedback helped a lot. And this in-app notification was an idea to have email notification. But when I spoke to Marcus, then we discussed that it would be better to do in-app notification, and I thought that as well, probably worked better with the time frame. But it was also quite difficult to make it happen, to make it be like in a smooth way. I'm not 100% like happy how it's presented either, but it's a start, and I will continue working on it. And for the future, I would like to add the email functionality at some point. And I also would like this to be a hub for everything that has to do with my job applying process. Like maybe have my CV, have my cover letter, maybe have a little folder which holds the feedback from interviews. Maybe I can see like if I get the same feedback and I don't get the job, like to see some correlation like with why I got that feedback and why I didn't get the job. And also it would be cool to integrate it with Arbetsförmedlingen. Like if you apply to Arbetsförmedlingen, then you need to search the 6 jobs a month, I think it is. So it would be nice to get some sort of like notification from that, and maybe when new ads are posted, it would also be cool to have, like just make it more integrated with that too. And then, so you can see you can also log out, and then it won't be any applications. So you can log in with your Google account, and then that account will be stored in the database, and then that will hold all of your applications. That's it for me.
Thank you, Josefin, for a beautiful presentation. I was wondering if you have some questions. Yeah.
Really nice job, and I thought it was very interesting that you said that you want to connect it to Arbetsförmedlingen. How do you think that will be able to work? Like what do you see are the possibilities to connect these two?
My initial thought would be you probably apply with Arbetsförmedlingen with your email. So if I could get those two sync, like that email notification from Arbetsförmedlingen maybe would come later to my app. Maybe it would be a possibility, perhaps.
Great, thank you so much.
I have one more question here.
You mentioned that you got some help from Victor with just getting yourself a bit unstuck.
Yeah.
What was it specifically?
It was one endpoint that stopped working. I can't remember which all of them was. And I started to change the things in the front end. And then I changed things in the back end. And then I forgot that I changed things in the back end. So I was 100% sure, oh no, it's front end that's not working, because it was working on Swagger before. And then I checked Swagger again, and Swagger wasn't working. And then I just had to go and look like what I'd done. So I think his idea was like, oh, are you sure it's working on Swagger? It's like, no, okay, actually not now. So troubleshooting.
All right, thank you.
Okay, perfect. We're moving on to the next presentation. Thank you so much again. And so now it's Victor's turn.
Jävla hård den. Okay, perfect. Hello everyone. So for my HackDay project, I decided to do a website for companies that want to easily see an overview of what they need to upskill or what skills needs to be improved on in their company. Hence the name, upskilling. So if we go into the dashboard here, this is like the basic overview to see the different skills here. For example, we have SQL, and here next to it, it says amount 7. And what I mean with the amount is it's the amount of devs that are below, that have been rated below the recommended skill level for their role. So for example, if they're a senior, they should rate themselves as maybe a 7 out of 10 or something like that, but they have rated themselves as 3, then they get added to this list. And then the second table here is basically different roles and how many devs are in that role. And to add devs, you click on this button. There's a little pop-up here. You can add maybe Saltson. We'll say that Saltson is a C# dev, maybe. They have maybe worked for 3-4 years or something like that, so their experience level is maybe mid-level. They feel really confident in C#, Entity Framework, but SQL, they're maybe feeling a bit, it's difficult. They don't feel like they are really good at that. So what would happen now, if I would add this developer, SQL, here the SQL skill would get an 8 instead. Because for mid, I put like the threshold. It's here. So if you rate yourself anywhere lower than 5, for example, you will get sent into the bad boy zone. So if you add this, for example, you'll see it up there with an 8. And that was all the features that I timed within the time span. But what I would have liked to also put in is, for example, to be able to like click on a skill to see a details page for it, where you can see all the developers that needs to be upskilled. And the same thing for like the different roles here, just to see which developers are in those roles. But unfortunately, I didn't have time for that, and I would also have liked to improve the UI and UX design a bit, because it's a bit hard to understand, I think. I got some feedback from Matthias. So I switched around some stuff to try to make it a little bit better, but it's still not perfect, but it's okay. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Before we continue, could we take a 2-minute break, because something is wrong with the audio, so I can fix that. So,
Okay, we assume we're going to be back in 2 minutes. Okay, thank you for a beautiful presentation. One more round of applause. Woo!
No, thank you.
Now we're going to see if there are some questions from the audience.
What was the most fun part about this project? I mean, to work with?
I don't know. I liked fixing this little form. I thought it became pretty good. You could. Yeah. It's responsive, and I don't know. It listens to you. It feels nice to use.
Nice.
In my opinion, yeah.
Thank you for a great presentation. I was wondering, because for this, it seems like the individual itself is the one who rates themselves.
It's supposed to be like that, but I didn't fix any authentication or anything like that.
No, but I wonder, because sometimes you can have maybe doubts in yourself that you would rate yourself maybe lower than what you actually are on that level. Yeah. So I wonder, was there any thought of having maybe the managers also ranking to see if they are aligned, to see if there actually is a need, or? Yeah,
I was thinking about that as well. Right now it's like the managers putting the developers in, and they are ranking them basically right now. But my thought is that they are supposed to rank themselves, and then Then maybe as well, you could add that the managers rank them as well to compare. But right now it's only the managers.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much.
Some more questions? Okay, thank you. We're moving on. And now it's Conrad's turn to present.
Yes, thank you, Juliet, for introducing me, and thank you, everyone, for coming. So today I'm going to present to you my application that I chose to call NEED-T, and it's, as you can see, it's a healthcare transport coordination app. So a little backstory: transporting patients between different parts of a hospital can be a little time-consuming. So to not take the time away from trained healthcare professionals, some hospitals choose to hire personnel who is responsible for that simple task. And I actually worked as a transporter for quite a while. And what I noticed was that some of the coordination and yeah, some of the how staff works could be more effective and improved by using an application to coordinate between the transporters and the people who make the orders. So yeah, that's what I did. And as I said, I have a first-hand experience in the field, but I also did a short survey with some people that I worked with, and also some people who work in healthcare. My mother's one of those, so it was pretty easy to get a survey from her. And I didn't have time to add all the suggestions that they suggested, but one thing that kept recurring was that it should be easy to use, no unnecessary stuff to click on to takes away your attention. Just pretty simple and straightforward. So yeah, that was my focus throughout the process. And right now we have two types of users: one who is transporter and one who is orderer. So you can't register yourself because that's not how it works. An admin should add you if you're employed. So as you can see, you can read that here if you click on the question mark. Otherwise, you can just log in as an orderer. And this is the simple form that you have to fill in. It's very simple, but it has all the information that you need for the transporters to do the job. So we can fill it in and see. I already made a better one, but just to show you how it works, we can fill it in here. And as you can see, an order has been sent. And then we log out, and then we log in as a transporters app user, and we can do yeah, this one. So ignore that. You can see here all the pending transports show up on this list, and as a transporter you can choose to accept the transport, which makes it go to this tab, which is my pending transport, you can call it. And once you're finished, you just click on this and you go back to the pending transports. So it's pretty simple, and it's also in Swedish because my target audience was Swedish hospitals. But this is the simple functionality that I had time to implement. We didn't have so much time, but I have some functions that I'm planning to add in the future. Here you can see how I set up the project structure. I started with the technical stuff, wanted to have that in place before I focused on functions. What should a user be able to do? And you can see that here. Also, as a bonus, some endpoints for you. Yeah. And that would be it. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for a beautiful presentation, Conrad. I have a question. I would like to start ask, what do the system looks like now on the hospital that you're working on?
Yeah, so you log into a telephone queue, and people can call you, and you as a transporter have to answer the telephone, even if you have a patient. So you have to answer it and write down all the information yourself. So it really is a need in some applications, something that can make it easier.
Wow, that's a really great solution.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you.
You had some buttons, like you see more details and like all transportations. Is that like things that you didn't have time to do?
No, that one is implemented actually.
Okay, nice. Let's see it.
Yeah, so you can see here some additional info when the order was put. Yeah, you can also add comments, which will, here we can see all the transports, and as you can see, I tested the up quite a bit. So you have a lot of transports here. But if it says smittrisk, it's going to be red and say yeah. So that's basically a little window with more information that you may be interested in.
Looks good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Konrad. Next up we have Junita. Då knäpper du på den där bara.
Röd. Alltså. Okej. Ska vi se. Ja, nu förstår jag. This is brain science. Okay, so my product is about people wanting to be more, buy more secondhand and so on today. And what stops people from doing that? I thought of. And in my opinion, I feel like it's almost always about not knowing the person you buy from, it can be very scary or not so comfortable to just know that you don't know this person and so forth. So this is why I built this application. So basically, it's an application where you have your community and just the product that your community is selling or want to get rid of, basically. So when you come into the page, it looks like this. It's very just basic right now, since we only have a couple of days, but you can sign up here, and then you have connection with your neighbors, maybe your colleagues, your friend, people that you can share products or clothes or toys or whatever with. So you can add a product here, and you can see the users here. Here is the users that you are connected to. So let's see what Konrad is selling. Ooh, nice sneakers, Konrad. I always think you have such a great taste. So this is basically the idea, and you can purchase from your community, and there is a lot of concurrence businesses out there, but the risks of when you buy from someone on Facebook Marketplace, for example, you go there, you don't know the person, it can be scary, and I think this is a really great idea, and I hope to get time to continue working on it. And I built this in Next.js, and it was super fun to practice that more, since I'm gonna work with that. as a consultant soon. So I think that was it for me.
Thank you for a beautiful presentation. Do you have some questions from the audience?
You mentioned that you wanted to make it more secure to buy things from neighbors and things like that. Have you any thought of like how many you can have in your community? Is it like does it have to be like a two-way? Like, so if I ask you to be in my community, do you have to accept that, or can I just add anyone in any way, or how does that work?
Good question. I thought about that, and it's a two-way acceptance thing. So it's if I want to connect with you, for example, you need to accept that invite, so you say. So that's how I'm thinking to solve that.
Great, thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Anita.
Thank you.
Now we're moving on with Alex.
All right. My name is Alex, and I will be presenting my Hack Week project that I've been working on for the last couple of days, called Trail Tribe. So, Trail Tribe is a hiking application made by a hiker for other hikers. So the tech stack that I've used for this project is React, combined with Tailwind CSS for a front end, as well as ASP.NET combined with Entity Framework for the back end, and Docker with SQL for the database. So the current main features of my application in this stage is being able to browse trails with visual cards, being able to see a detailed page about selected trail with a cool interactive map, and you should be able to add, remove trails from your favorites, and also a responsive design with a clean, accessible UI. So, some reflections and issues that I had during this project was that, if we start with the good parts, I integrated a leaflet map, which was the package to have an interactive map on my web page, which I'm also able to map out the trail on the map. And I was also able to design a pretty good database and a backend. Some of the issues I had, though, was I wanted a third-party API that could give me the coordinates for the map. But starting last year, November, they had a payment subscription. So I could not use the API for more than 10 calls or 10 times before I had to start to pay. So I took the data and mocked it, meaning I did one call, saved the data, and manually input it to my application. And of course, the time constraint was a big hurdle. So for a quick small demo of my web page, this is the landing page that I made for the Trail Tribe website with that has trails of the month, as well as some information about the page itself. And I have a browser page, as I mentioned, with all the current trails in season, and a favorites page listing all your favorites. So here on this side, you can also remove your favorites, or a favorite trail, and you can also add whichever you like. And it will be darkened so you can't press it again, as well as it should show up on the favorites page, hopefully. And it does. And you can also go into a selected trail to view more details about the trail itself with an image, as well as a interactive map showing the trail itself. And it's also mobile responsive. Let's see if I can find it. It's not the best, but it's getting there. And that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Alex, for a beautiful presentation. And now I have some time for questions from the audience.
Is it somewhere you can see what type of trail it is, like difficulty, or maybe like if it's a trail for hiking, or is it a trail for biking, or like if you can bring a pram, like, or is it just like all trails is a trail?
Currently, it's all trails a trail.
Yeah, yeah.
But the third-party API that I was going to use had all that information.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the big things that I got stuck with on Saturday, spending the entire day looking through different APIs, but I could not find one.
Yeah, yeah,
So unfortunately, that was supposed to be a thing, but it's not.
yeah. But still nice.
Thank you.
Can you repeat what was the API's name?
Oh, I think it was Rapid API Geo something.
I can recommend OpenStreetMaps. It's just a shame that I couldn't.
This one, my map is built upon OpenStreetMap,
Nice.
but it doesn't give you the coordinates for the different trails. That's the issue.
Yeah, I see now. Thanks.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
The next presentation is Gregor.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate the big crowd, the big audience. Yeah, and what I'm going to talk about today. First, I'm going to have a small intro. How did it all come in? Then I'm just going to show the functionality. Simplicity was the king, and that's what we strived after. And then I'm going to talk about a little bit about technicalities, and then I'm going to talk about Q&A. So first, let's go on a magical journey. You can all close your eyes, feel the Italian wind in your hair, smell the salt, and feel the soft breeze. And after 5 minutes, your romantic partner asks, how about paying for that pizza? Did I pay for the tickets? And how about adding the margarita on top of it? And then you can open your eyes slowly and think, why the magic is gone? Why the magic is gone? With this simple app, you can just add all the expenses, track it, swish it, and also visualize the connections that you have. It's scalable, it's fit to work with Gmail and also with Swish. But first, I've actually mocked the data. But let's go. We have just three pages. We have Finn, Jake, Marceline, and I will add Gunter to the mix right now. So we can add the group dynamically. The connection is a bit slow, but that's okay. And we say that Gunter paid for the lovely margarita, or whatever it's spelled. We pay 80 euro, and we are going to see that it adds dynamically to the page. And then we go to the groups. We can also look at the statistics. There is no graph because we didn't make a payment, and we see that the checkboxes are not on. So we see in the group who has not made the contribution. So Jake owes Gunter 20. We are going to click on the pay now, and we are going to go back to the group, and then it even shows the updated statistics. It's something I can also work on a little bit more. So basically, the simplicity, the elasticity, and scalability was my goal in this project. I work with, of course, .NET, SQL Server, entity framework, TypeScript, which was my Achilles heel, and I've got great support both from Matthias and Markus, when I'm super thankful for. So all is dynamic right now. I don't need to refresh, and everything is super fast thanks to Tanstack router. So I was feeling really happy working with this project, and time constraint was really not a problem, and it was really great to work with you all. And if you are all interested, you can all try this up. But now it's time for a little bit of question and answers. Thank you.
Woo! Okay, I go first. Thank you for a beautiful presentation, and you look great. The app that you've shown is I've used some similar Splitwise, I think it's called. Did you look upon that application and like how the functions?
No. I didn't look at Splitwise particularly. I've looked at different web pages that try to list it up, and the numbers of buttons and options were just overwhelming. So I thought, okay, we're cutting everything down. So even if you have 5 tequilas, you are able to sort out your map without going into a bar fight. So and yeah, there is the pay now option is just for Swish. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just going to check out the app. It's a great tip, not to reinvent the wheel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Could you explain that graph a little more?
Yeah, the graph shows the connections between the users that made a payment, and the more payments we have, the more advanced the graph will be. So it's basically a network structure, network graph, and I used to work before with. I made another payment, and it's interconnected. So if another person made a payment, it adds another layer. But this part I could definitely work on to display the usernames. It just requires one more fetch from the user database and to be sent directly to the statistics route. But
so each node is a user.
Sorry?
Each node in the graph is
exactly. Each node is user. And that's really a great question. I learned a lot about entity framework, and it's really hard to work with dictionaries, which is my hash maps are my absolute favorite, coming from Python and from technical interviews. So yeah, that was really a bit of convoluted structure. I think I have it even here. No, this we are not going to publish, but where is the model? Fetch payments. So there is the payment structure is double convoluted, and also the application DB contexts uses a lot of methods to get it into place. And also I can track all the transactions with a date stamp. I mean, statistics is just for user viability. Thanks.
Thank you.
Some more questions to Gregor? Okay, great. Now it's my turn. I'm the last one.
Thanks, and thanks for the patience. I think Q&A has been a little bit overdrawn. Good luck. Oh, yes, a classic.
Okay, so starting to browse in my head what I wanted to do in those 4 days, I've come up with a problem that I had when I'm working in preschools. In working with children in schools, you need to have a register check, like a form that you get and it's valid for 1 year. When you are in a substitute pool, you often get in different preschools, and the manager in the schools are like, did you have a register? Okay, it's confusing, and they still do it like manually. They take it in and just write, okay, that's good. So I had that problem in my way going forward. And so I want to map out this is like a manager, so this is for the manager to log in, to add the employees. And if I want to check the validation, I can do it like, okay, it's valid for 1 year. And so going forward, this is like a seed to the app. I'm not finished at all because I have some things during this weekend that I didn't have time to solve. But I want to also see if I can get this API to work in my application to see if the register check is valid or not, because you can fake it and you can just draw it in a PDF or something. But it will be great to have it like in the app. And the struggles I have, what's with the 10 stack. I'm very eager to learn more about it with the fetches. I've talked about it this morning, and I really want to learn and want to continue to develop this app to get a safer environment in preschools for vikarier. Okay, do you have some questions? Ah.
Jaha, du visat det?
Ja.
Okay. Because it was a bit slow when I was doing it as well. I was clicking and then I think it's...
Could reconnect maybe.
Mm-hmm. So I just
Close it down and just go back to the same link.
Tire screen. Oh, so it's like a dashboard application. So I just do a fetch to the API to move it 12 months ahead. And that's what I was able to do in the time span. Yes.
How did you seed your database? It has so many records.
Yes, so I use an DB initializer in the backend and do, yeah. So, but I want to have to add more and to maybe have it red, green, and yellow to expire soon, or so I want to have more time to sit with it because I thought it was fun, and I think it's a really good idea to give the managers at schools.
Yeah, it looks great. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, so we are finished now with everyone's presentations. Woohoo! So good. Good work. Thank you for watching.